Good morning and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today as always. Today's topic is going to be, should I unblock my ex? Be sure to stay to the end because I have a lot of good points here which may be of value to you if you're thinking about unblocking your ex. Something you need to consider and ponder before you make that choice. But before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We have a video coming out every day, and be sure to stay tuned for our podcast at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. It'll be a good one this week. We have Rob from Commanding Confidence is going to join us. All right, let's go. Should I unblock my ex? First, you need to ask yourself why you blocked her. Why did you block her? Are you so emotionally compromised that you had to block her? Maybe. Hey, I've been there. I understand it. You have to take care of yourself. I know sometimes when you break up in a relationship such as that the emotional, I want to say that word trauma. I like to stay away from that because it seems people use the word trauma for everything now. Well, my dad wouldn't buy me an ice cream when I was a kid, so I have some trauma I have to heal. But that's just the way things are. Maybe I'm in denial. That's possible. Okay, but back to that. So if you get emotionally compromised in a relationship, which means you've put too much value, too much investment into your woman, sometimes when you break up, if you leave her or if she leaves you, it's a difficult time for you. And the best thing you can do is cut off all contact. And that goes into no contact. I put a video out on that also, which is really for you. Some people use it to get the woman back because when you go no contact, 99.9% of the time they do come back. But if you don't change, when she comes back, it will be the same thing over again. Something to keep in mind. But if you have blocked your ex, first you need to decide and discover why you did that. Were you angry? Were you afraid? Were you trying to hurt her? Were you trying to get some type of revenge? Depending, of course, on the situation. Whether she left you or you left her, or however it ended. Maybe you both decided to leave, but usually one initiates it. But if you're thinking about unblocking her, you need to stop and think of the the consequences of that, or the results of making that choice. Because if you fall back into the same emotional turmoil again, it's going to affect everything else in your life. Sometimes we need time to look within ourselves. And when we are in a relationship, our emotions are running so high that we really can't see clearly. If you break up with someone and you cut off all contact, it seems to allow the mist or the clouds to clear so you can see things in a better perspective, not clouded by the emotions of love, lust, desire, jealousy, envy, whatever it may happen to be. All these seem to come out in relationships, and they come out even more in tumultuous relationships. And usually when a breakup happens, there's been some turmoil. So you really need to consider carefully why you want to unblock her and what are going to be the consequences of unblocking her, or the benefits, possibly. You need to think about that carefully. Look down the road. How is that going to help you? Quit thinking about her, and if you're trying to rescue her, you cannot do that. No one can rescue anyone else unless they desire to be rescued. It's like if you throw a lifesaver, one of these round lifesavers off the ship to someone who's drowning. If they don't grab that, they're going to drown. You can try to help them, but unless they reach out, you can't help them up. It's easier for someone to pull you down than it is for you to pull them up. So think about that too when you're thinking about unblocking your ex. You have to take care of yourself. It's like the old adage, when the oxygen masks drop in the airplane, you have to put yours on first, then you help your wife and your kids. Too many times here, at least in the Western world, we think of our kids have to come before us. And in some circumstances, that's true. I have 8 kids, so I understand that. But unless you take care of yourself, you are not able to take care of your children. If you run yourself ragged into sickness or whatever, and you can't work, how are you going to take care of your family? But on the other side of that, the reverse of that, if someone comes to your house and is trying to break in or hurt you or your family, you have to put yourself on the line. You have to put your life at risk to save the life of your family, the lives of your family members. Now, that's a different thing there. But in situations like this, where no one's life is in danger, although your ex may be trying to kill herself with drugs or alcohol or doing dangerous things, but you can't stop them from doing that. You do not have the power to do that. You cannot rescue her. You will drown trying to rescue her. So remember that. You can't save anyone from themselves. They have to be willing to save themselves before you can do anything for them. So those are all things to consider when thinking about unblocking your ex. What are your motives? What are your motives? Are you wanting to go back to something comfortable, hoping for a reunion, rather than stepping out into the unknown? You must step out of the comfort zone in all aspects of your life. Now, it may be uncomfortable unblocking your ex, but are you trying to stay in that comfortable, familiar, which really probably was uncomfortable, because if you broke up, things were probably not going too well. Maybe they became too comfortable and she got bored with you. I've been there too. I've been on both sides of that spectrum. You need to stop and think. Most people don't think, they only remember. So before you decide to unblock your ex or to continue keeping her blocked, stop and contemplate the relationship, how you got to the point where you broke up, what you did, what she did, and focus on what you can change and what you want your life to be. Is bringing her back into your life or talking to her again going to move you or propel you towards your vision, towards your dreams, towards your goals? If not, you will never find happiness in another person, and in a woman. As a man finds fulfillment and happiness in pursuing his dreams, in reaching out and accomplishing the goals that keep him on his mission, that propel him towards his mission. Do you even know what your mission is? What is your purpose here? You know what it is, but have you ever taken it out and thought about it, written it down on a piece of paper and looked at it and contemplated it? Maybe it's something you think you can never do. It's just too big. But you would not have the desire were it not possible for you to achieve it. Everyone has a desire of some kind, but most people are afraid to bring it out and put it on paper. Less than 1% of the population have written goals. Do you have written goals? It's one thing to let it roll around in your head, like an idea. If you get an idea, write it on a piece of paper. Take action toward it. If you can think of the first step toward the goal, that's all you need to start. The way will be revealed to you as you progress. Most people are afraid to take the first step, and thus they never accomplish anything. But not you. You're going to take that first step. You're going to write down that desire, that goal, that dream, and you're going to look at it every day. And you're going to see in your mind's eye you as the person achieving that dream, or as the person already that has achieved that dream, that vision. Think from the end, as if it's already come to pass. Whatever you desire, believe that you have received it and you shall have it. Don't think about when I will have that or in the future. Think about having it now. Think about being in a wonderful relationship now if you've broken up with your ex. Don't think about the person. Don't think about it being her, but just try to capture those feelings of what it's like to be in a good relationship. You can take the time that you were with your girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend, when things were good. Think about that feeling and reproduce that feeling in you now. I know it will be difficult because maybe you're hurting from the breakup, but that will bring the right person into your life. It could be your ex, but more than likely not. And remember, during this time where you have blocked her, you're not talking to her, you need to look within and change yourself. Because if you don't, what will happen is this. Maybe you'll meet someone else and you'll be having the same conversations with them, leading to a breakup that you had with your ex. Same situation, different person, different face, but the exact same thing. Because whatever you run away from, you run into. That's why sometimes it's better to leave your ex unblocked. If she keeps contacting you after you walk away for a while, you have to go through these things. Everywhere you go, there you are. And as I said, whatever you run away from, you will run into. So you have to go through the emotions, through the suffering, through the pain of the breakup to learn the lesson of what you need to change. Don't fall into the belief that, well, you just didn't have the right girl. You just have a bad picker. You will continue to have the wrong girl as long as you remain the wrong person, as long as you don't get the lesson. That girl was there to teach you something about yourself. Quit pointing the finger at her. If you're pointing one finger at her, there are 3 fingers pointing back at you. It's always you. No matter what, it's you and me. You don't need to change anything out there. No other person, no other situation. You just need to change within yourself. And when you do that, miraculously, the outer world conforms to the changes you have made within yourself. You are the creator. You are the reality chooser. Some people believe you create your reality. Some people believe you step into the vast number of infinite realities and possibilities available for you. Now, you can believe either way you desire. I tend to believe both possibilities. What does it matter? As long as the end result is what you desire it to be. What do you think about during the day? Are you thinking about all the terrible things that happened between you and your ex? Are you thinking about that she cheated on you, that she lied to you? If you continue to focus on these things, you will bring that back into your life, which means you will bring her back into your life or someone similar to her. I'll give you an example. During one of my marriages, and I've had a few, I was married to a woman, and when we broke up, it's like, I went through the divorce machine, that's the word. And man, she was just lying about everything, and I was being honest. And it was like, no matter what she said, they just believed it, the court did, and the system and the people, the Division of Family Services, the GAL, the judge. No matter what she said, it was like it was the gospel. And it was all lies. And everything I said, no one paid attention to it. And so I was so focused on her lying for probably a year or two and trying to get through that And finally, we got that all finished up, and I started going out with other girls, and I ended up meeting a girl from another country. We married, and this woman turned out to be a compulsive liar. And I thought, how can that be? How could I have attracted a person to me that was a compulsive liar when I am being honest? I mean, I was regularly, and I still am rigorously honest. If I lie to you, then I first lied to myself. And if later I figure it out, I'll come back and tell you that I was wrong. But that's not easy to live that way. And I don't do it because I'm some wonderful guy. I do it because I want peace of mind. I want success. And for me, that's the way I have to live my life. But back to the story, how did I attract someone like that? Because for a long period of time, my dominant thinking was about how much lying my ex-wife was doing. I continued to think about dishonesty, deceitfulness, and there's a word, but I can't pronounce it, and a person lying. So guess what? I drew that into my life in the form of another woman. That's what happened. So remember, be careful what you're thinking about. Be careful what you're complaining about. What you complain about, you bring about. Okay, some things for you to consider before you decide to unblock your ex or keep her blocked. It's all about you. That's all I got time for today. Thanks for joining me. If you would like to get my help personally, you can contact me at marksinspiration.com. My email is marksinspirationalguidance@gmail.com. And if you find this video of value, you can hit the PayPal button and donate $1, $2, $10, $100, $1,000, whatever you feel like it's worth. Share this with a friend if you think it would be helpful to them. And I'm gonna go. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same bat channel. Yeah, maybe you're too young for that, but I heard that when I was a kid. Take care.